Check, check. Hey there, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Estrevo with Mid-Michigan Now. We have a storm-ready alert winter storm on the way. So wanted to give you all the details that we have, not only tonight, but into our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and beyond, because we have two impactful systems that will happen across the Thanksgiving holiday stretch. The first is going to come through tomorrow. Out ahead of it, we have quite a bit of fog, mist, drizzle. There are some lower visibilities between 1 mile to 2, even 3 miles in a lot of cases. Alma, Midland, Bay City, over towards Cairo, Bad Axe, even into East Tawas. That's reducing some of those visibility numbers that may have you slowing down in spots. But that fog will continue to lift north through the area, and it will likely clear our area for the morning commute. We will have some rain showers out there for the start of the day tomorrow. Right now, temperatures are well into the 40s. It's not going to be anything winter-like tonight into tomorrow, at least tomorrow morning. But as we head into the afternoon and evening, it's this system. You can see a big spin with this low, and that is pulling in some deep, cold air that is changing a lot of that system over to snowfall. You may be surprised to hear that in the Upper Peninsula, they could have a couple feet of snowfall, maybe in some cases 3 feet of snow from this one system. Not only system snow on the northern side of this low, but also lake effect snow that's going to be happening as well. We are going to continue to see this system wrapping in that colder air, which will change things over to snowfall for us by tomorrow afternoon, then all snow as we get into the evening and nighttime hours of our Wednesday. Morning, so morning commute towards lunchtime, it'll be all rain. There might be a little bit of rain and snow towards lunchtime in a few spots, but mainly rain, and we'll have a burst of rain during the early morning commute. Quite a bit of wind. Those winds get even stronger in the afternoon, and we see that rain-snow mix, and at times it will be all snow. And then some of that rain that's still mixing in the afternoon, it's all snow by the evening into the nighttime hours. All of that wet ground will start to freeze over as our temperatures get below freezing into the 20s overnight into Thursday morning, and we have the continued strong winds. Power outages are possible. Now, the risk is a little bit lower now that the trees are bare and we don't have any real heavy snowfall that's going to be weighing down those tree limbs, but some power outages are possible with some of those gusts up to 50 miles per hour tomorrow. Here's that wind gust forecast. You can see in the morning hours, some 25 to 35 mile per hour winds. Then we jump into that 35 to 45 mile per hour range for the afternoon and evening. Winds will stay strong overnight into our Thursday right here, Thanksgiving, right around lunchtime or maybe early dinner for some of us if you're having that meal right around when the Lions are going to be playing. Some of those gusts will still be 30 to 40 miles per hour across the area, and that's going to continue to bring those lake effect snow showers into the mix and into the forecast. Those winds subside a bit on Friday, but still some gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour will be a possibility as we wrap up the week. The good news is the snowfall is going to be winding on down by the end of the week for Black Friday. Still some icy, cold conditions, wind chills are primarily going to be in the 20s and teens throughout this entire forecast. You can see that colder air right behind this wave that is settling on in. We have some temperatures already below the freezing mark, even into the 20s, and that's what we have on the way as the system really starts to deepen and bring that colder air rushing into the state of Michigan. That's going to re-energize those lake effect snow showers and cause quite a bit of impacts to parts of our afternoon and evening. For the rest of this evening into tonight, it's just that drizzle and mist. Temperatures still staying well into the 40s, so no real concern about frosty, icy conditions tonight into tomorrow morning. Still well into the 40s. Arctic front comes through during the morning, and we'll have a burst of rain right there for the early morning commute. That rainfall is out of here by about 8 a.m., and then temperatures really slide. By lunchtime, you saw where we started the day in the 40s. Lunchtime, we're in the 30s, so right above the freezing mark. This will limit any snow accumulation as we get into the afternoon hours, but by the evening, we're falling down towards the freezing mark, and that's when our snow accumulation expectations will start to rise. But you can see a few of those scattered rain and snow showers across the area. As we jump into the evening hours, those temperatures are going to be back right around freezing. Snow showers are going to increase. The one thing about right here at 7 p.m., that low will be right here. So it's going to be spinning along right in our northern communities, and that's really going to channel these winds to potentially upwards of 45, maybe even 50 miles per hour. And that in combination with those snow showers could create some very low visibility, some tricky travel, maybe even some near whiteout conditions at certain times if we get a heavy enough snowfall and those winds continue to remain very strong across the region. Now, we are going to continue to see those temperatures sliding down below the freezing mark as we get into the overnight. Snow showers will continue to funnel themselves off of Lake Michigan, and we'll have a band potentially setting up in our northern communities into the thumb that will bring some of the heaviest snowfall totals to those regions in our area, along with US 127. As we go deeper into our Thanksgiving holiday, those snow showers will continue to come off of Lake Michigan. We are going to have additional snow accumulation on our Thanksgiving, and you can see those temperatures hovering right around freezing. So some icy snow-covered conditions are expected throughout the holiday with those stronger winds as well. Some of those gusts will be upwards of 40 miles per hour on our Thanksgiving. Once we get into Black Friday, you can see those snow showers starting to wind on down a little bit more. We are expecting those conditions to still be down right around freezing, if not just below freezing, but more of a scattered flurry to scattered light snow shower activity for Black Friday. Here's probably what everyone is wondering about: our Futurecast snowfall, the snowfall totals. The majority of the area we'll see about a dusting to an inch in that lighter blue. So from Oscoda towards Midland, in towards Chesaning, Saginaw, Flint, Mount Morris, expect about a dusting to an inch of snowfall. Into the thumb, we'll have a couple bands setting up. So an inch or two, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 inches of snowfall happening right here across the thumb. And that's going to be because we're going to have a couple bands that set up stretching from Lake Michigan over the Saginaw Bay and impacting the thumb right across that region. Now, as we go into our northern communities, so US 10 is right about here. So anybody north of US 10 will be seeing a few inches of snowfall, but it's across M55, Roscommon, Ogemaw counties that we could have 4 to 6, maybe even 6 to 8 inches of snowfall in a few spots. And that's going to be because that lake effect snow is really persistent, really strong across Roscommon and Ogemaw counties coming off of Lake Michigan. And that's where we do have a winter storm warning with some winter weather advisories towards US 127 and also in a few spots across the north. So here are those snowfall totals. We'll likely continue to adjust those as we see where those bands are setting on up. But just overall, because it's a travel day, because we haven't had snow in a few weeks, because it is going to be very windy and we have the potential of power outages, we are going with a storm ready alert day tomorrow. Still will be an impactful snowfall on our Thanksgiving, but we will have kind of gone through some of the strongest winds and at times some of the heaviest snowfall on Wednesday. We get just a chance of flurries on Friday. Then it's Saturday into Sunday, and I want to show you what that is going to be, because it could be an additional heavy band of snowfall. And you can see that right here. So we're going to start things out on our Saturday. So we're going to start things out right here at Saturday at 1 p.m. Don't want to go too far, so I'm going to stretch this back. So we have Saturday right here at 1 p.m. We get a heavy burst of snowfall to come on through Saturday evening into Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, it may start to change over or mix in with some rainfall, depending on how much of that warmer air is brought back into the system. And then we have a couple more scattered to isolated snow showers later on Sunday into our Monday. Now, we have two different waves of snowfall. So this one is likely going to be a heavier, more widespread snow than our lake effect snow. So Wednesday into Thursday, as you saw, most of us are around an inch, a couple inches into the thumb, heavier bands of snow towards US 127 and M55. This one, Saturday into Sunday, could bring an area wide several inches, maybe even some spots closer to a half of a foot, area wide. So it's not just going to be individual bands, it's going to be a widespread snowfall. So we are going to have back-to-back impactful snows. This one could also have some gusty winds, so some low visibility at times, traveling around Saturday late into our Sunday. It's just not going to be pretty later in the day on Saturday into Sunday with that snowfall expected to come on through. Now, once we are past Wednesday into Thursday, we'll come out with another snowfall map for our Saturday and Sunday. Just don't want to have any confusion because these are two different separate systems. So tomorrow, Storm Ready Alert Day. Would not be surprised if we have an alert day on our Saturday and Sunday. But we'll issue that as we get into Friday, most likely. Friday looks like the best travel day. Even Saturday morning doesn't look all that bad. Friday, Saturday morning, travel will be a bit easier. It's tomorrow that it won't be. Thursday at times, it will not be great to travel. Saturday late into our Sunday will also not be all that great for travel. I'm going to go back to our alert day graphic just to kind of break things down once again. So morning hours tomorrow, no snow, stronger winds increasing, rain at times during the morning commute. We'll get into a rain-snow mix and potentially at times all snow for the afternoon, strong winds continuing, some of those gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour. And I'll also show you, after I'm done going through this list, evening to nighttime, all snow, icy spots, strong winds continuing, temperatures plummeting below freezing, power outages along with low visibility. I would say the lowest visibility, at least the best chance of low visibility, will be out there during the evening hours, especially as we get past sunset. Now I'm going to go into our wind advisory, so our wind alerts. Here are those wind alerts. There is a high wind warning on the west side of the state. For us, it is just a wind advisory, and that is going to be Wednesday into Thursday morning. As you can see, some of those gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour, are expected. As we look further to the north, our northern spots, that wind advisory is going to be in effect until 7 a.m. and along the west side of the state, also 7 a.m. Now, even though that wind advisory will be allowed to expire by 7 a.m., winds are going to stay strong on Thursday, 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts. So even though that's not wind advisory territory, it is going to still be a very strong wind out there on our Thursday. And then I'm going to jump into our winter advisories. So we do have in our western communities right here along US 127, we have this winter weather advisory until 7 p.m. There's a potential of about 1 to 3 inches of snow, some strong wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Into Ogemaw County, we have 2 to 5 inches possible, winds gusting upwards of 45 miles per hour, and that's until Friday at 7 p.m. And then we have our winter storm warning here for Roscommon County. That is for upwards of 6 to 10 inches of snow, and that is going to be from 7 p.m. Wednesday to 7 p.m. on Friday. Some of those gusts also 45 miles per hour. There is the potential of whiteout conditions at times, most likely Wednesday evening into Thursday morning, and that'll make for dangerous travel. So as you can see, most of our area does not have a winter weather advisory. we're completely clear. Doesn't mean you're not going to get snow or strong winds. We have the wind advisory, gusts up to 45 miles per hour. I would not be surprised if those bands do end up setting up right here into the thumb. If we do have a band coming out of Roscommon County that sets up, if we maybe have a couple additional winter weather advisories that are issued for, and I'll zoom in, for Gladwin and also Aranac counties, as well as maybe Midland and Bay counties. I would say probably more so Gladwin and Aranac, and then over here towards Tuscola, Huron, and Sanilac County. So those 5 counties, I would not be surprised if we maybe get introduced to a winter weather advisory, but it's really going to depend on where those bands end up setting up. So that's kind of the outlook for our winter weather. Everyone is under that wind advisory tomorrow into our Thursday morning. But here's another breakdown of the timing of these impacts. Morning, rain and wind. We start to see some snow in the afternoon. Winds getting even stronger. Those winds remain strong evening into the night. All snow, icy spots, potential of whiteout conditions, power outages possible to go along with those whiteout conditions, which will bring low visibility. And I'll also show you another look at our expected snowfall. So as you can see, the majority of us will probably be right there in that trace to an inch. There could be some 1 to 3 inch totals right here, Bay City towards Eau Gray and also Gladwin, as well as Clare, Mount Pleasant, Alma. Maybe not as much Alma, maybe upwards of 1 inch in Alma, but Mount Pleasant, Clare, in Isabella and Clare counties could have the 1 to 3 inch totals. Then as you go into Iosco County, it's likely going to be 1 inch or 2. Jumping over to Ogemaw, we'll go from a couple inches on the western side or the eastern side of Ogemaw County to as much as 4 to 6 on the eastern side, and then the potential of about 4 to 10 inches across Roscommon County. Some of the heaviest snow happening there. We also have a potential area of heavier snowfall setting up here into the thumb, a couple inches, maybe as much as 4, but I would say in that 1 to 3 inch range here into parts of Lapeer, Tuscola, Sanilac, and also Huron County. So that's kind of a breakdown of that snowfall, and that's through Friday morning. So that includes most of tomorrow afternoon and evening, tomorrow night, Thursday, and also Thursday night into Friday morning. So a long stretch that will have the snow potential, but not a ton that's going to be developing or at least accumulating in most locations. The only other thing that I will remind you all of is that once we are done with this first wave of wind and snow and plummeting temperatures, we are going to have a quieter day on Friday, potentially some sunshine breaking out for a lot of us. So that'll help to melt things, get us up to just above freezing. Chance of flurries, light snow showers still possible across our western and northern communities. But then we go into a likely snowfall Saturday, rain and snow continuing on Sunday. And over the weekend, we will likely have another impactful accumulating snowfall that could put another, or at least bring additional issues when it comes to the snowfall potential and travel as we get into the weekend. So early next week, we'll be deep into that Arctic air, which will bring those high temperatures down into the 20s. That's about 15 to at times 20 degrees below average. Same thing with our lows down into the teens and maybe some of those wind chills down into the single digits early next week. We'll likely be back tomorrow right at the same time tomorrow evening around 7:30 with another Facebook Live just to keep you guys updated on where the worst of the conditions are, how we're looking for Wednesday night into our Thanksgiving, and also how things are looking for that weekend ahead as well. As always, we appreciate you guys watching and joining us on this Facebook Live. We will keep you updated and posted as we get further along into this event and we get closer to our weekend event as well.